Zilong received some adjustments in the latest patch update. His sustainability was improved, and his damage increased when the enemy's HP is below 50%. However, the attack speed boost from his ultimate was reduced. In summary, his early game was buffed, but his late game was nerfed. The question is, will Zilong enter the meta because of this update? The obvious answer is no. The changes to him were so minimal that his playstyle remains almost the same as before, unlike Argus. I played him several times after the update, and while I felt the early game buff, the late game nerf was just as noticeable. Let's break down the changes. Moonton, as usual, labeled it as a buff, but in reality, it's more of an adjustment. First, his passive's base HP regen was increased by 20 points, which helps him early game. However, compared to other meta EXP laners, it's still hard for him to keep up. Especially against heroes like Hilda or Hylos, he'll still struggle. But against other damage-focused EXP laners, he now has a fighting chance. When I first played Zilong, I thought he was super strong because I could nearly wipe out enemies alone. But that was just because I was facing squishy opponents. The moment I played against meta EXP laners, my perspective shifted. His weaknesses became evident, especially in team fights. Once you dive in, it's hard to escape since he has no dash. And if you get crowd controlled, you're done for. It's easy to take him down. Zilong will always be Zilong. Some people commented on my videos saying every hero's weakness is crowd control. First, that's not true. Tanky heroes don't care about crowd control. Second, heroes like Zilong and Argus are easy to catch in crowd control during dives, unlike heroes like Fanny or Ling, who are hard to pin down despite having the same weakness. Another addition to his passive is the extra 30 damage when the enemy's HP is below 50%. This feels strong in the early game, but becomes almost unnoticeable in the late game. Since it's flat base damage, and not a percentage of physical attack like Blade of Despair, it doesn't scale well. Against tanky heroes with high HP like Hylos, you'll barely feel the effect. It's better to just avoid them entirely in such scenarios. As for his ultimate, the late game attack speed boost was reduced by 20%. This is a significant nerf, making him weaker in the late game. However, just like the old Zilong, he's still strong at split pushing. He can pick off isolated enemies, but he can't 1v1 every hero. Unlike Masha, who can beat most, if not all, heroes in a 1v1 in the late game. Also, when enemies stick together, there's not much he can do aside from split pushing. I really felt the nerf to his ultimate in the late game. Some people even commented that Zilong is scarier now in the late game, especially with his epic skin. It's laughable because it's clear they didn't read the patch notes. They saw the word buff and assumed he got stronger when it's actually just an adjustment. Moonton's labeling can be misleading. I initially thought Zilong would become meta because of the new rose gold meteor, but that wasn't the case. Haas's claws, one of Zilong's core items, was nerfed in terms of lifesteal.
Make every move count.
As for the hybrid defense provided by Rose Gold Meteor, it's similar to Thunderbelt. However, I still prefer Thunderbelt because it doesn't require building lifesteal items for hybrid defense and offers permanent, unlimited stacks. Meanwhile, Rose Gold Meteor's defense is capped at 50. But in the late game, when you're full item, it might be worth buying the power potion because it gives 15% lifesteal, which means 15 hybrid defense. But how about you? What do you think about this adjustment? Is it a nerf or a buff? Do you think Zilong needs a new build to be effective? Share your thoughts in the comment section. That's it for this video, and please hit like and subscribe. Good luck, and see you next time.